You're listening to Let's Stay Together Anime Break, the sub-series of Let's Stay Together where we talk about the 2019 anime Fruits Basket. I'm Ellen.
And I'm Kayla.
And today we're discussing Season 2, Episode 9, which is called My Precious. I guess before we start, I just want to say that I hope that this episode finds everyone safe and well. You know, as we know, everything's going on in the U.S., and I hope that we're all moving toward a future without systemic rampant racism. But it's okay to tune out and take a break once in a while, so hopefully we can do that with this anime break, aptly named, I guess. I just wanted to take a little time to say something, but who knows. Yeah. This episode covered chapters 62 and 63 of the manga. We covered it before in our episode 32. I didn't look at what it was titled, but we covered it in detail, and it's a good one, I'm sure.
Titled My Precious.
It wasn't. I should go. Let me look. Now you piqued my interest. Oh, I called this episode Hope Will Return to You Again and Again, which is a good thing. I'm not going to say that it's a better title. I mean... Anyway, this episode is called My Precious. Let us do our summaries, spoiler-free discussion, spoilery discussion, like we always do. Let's talk about the beach.
Okay.
Well, actually, this episode doesn't open at the beach. It opens with a memory of Kyo walking home with Tohru, and he wonders when his name started to have a special ring whenever she said it. When did it start that he would do something over and over again to make her smile? When did I start thinking stupid things like that? He wonders, and then we cut to the opening theme. At the beach, after the opening theme, Tohru wonders about Isuzu-soma, the horse, and thinks that the rooster must be Akito. Shigure announces that Akito asked him to bring Kyo to the annex house today, which snaps her out of her thoughts. Kyo and Tohru say at the same time, Kyo standing from the couch and Tohru dropping a laundry basket that she was carrying. Wow, you're both in sync, he says. Tohru is shocked and excited to see that Kyo is being included for once. Kyo is initially annoyed, but he simply bonks her on the head and says to wait for him to return. She's happy for you, huh? Shigure says. You can shut up, Kyo says darkly to Shigure. Nothing good will come of this. At the annex house, Shigure and Kyo pass Yuki in the hall. He can't believe it and asks if Akito actually summoned him. Shigure confirms and tells Kyo to go and see Akito in the inner room, and Kyo says this is the same as New Year's. They left Tohru alone again. What the hell are you all doing? Did y'all come here to leave her by herself? He demands to know. Then why are you here? Yuki asks, pointing out that it's not like Kyo can defy Akito either, and he warns Kyo not to lash out at Akito. Shut the hell up, you bastard! Kyo shouts and throws a punch at Yuki, but stops just in front of his nose. Yuki doesn't react at all. Kyo punches a wall nearby and then walks off. Shigure asks Yuki why he didn't fight. And fed up, he says, he needs to know his place. Him and me both. That's how it's supposed to be. Kyo enters the inner room and Akito greets him. It's been a while since they last spoke. It's okay. Come in, my pitiful monster, Akito says. Back at the big house, Tohru stands on the balcony and looks out at the sea. She wonders how things are going and clasps her hands as if she's making a wish. I hope Kyo-kun will come back at least a little happy, she thinks. But back at the annex, Kyo asks how their bet is going. It's impossible, right? He says. You can't win. The cat was never meant to defeat the rat. It's been carved into the wheel of fate. We see the past. Kyo grabs Akito's collar. I have nothing to do with that fate, he shouts. I'll destroy it. I'll beat Yuki. Then let's make a bet, Akito says. If you can defeat Yuki before you graduate high school, I'll stop calling you a monster. I'll even welcome you as a Zodiac member. But if you can't win, I'll lock you up until you die. In, maybe possibly the creepiest frames of the anime so far, Akito continues, eyes wide. If you can't win, you'll truly become just a piece of filth. In the present, Akito asks if he thinks he'll win, and Kyo argues that there's still time. Akito snaps a nearby wind chime down and lobs it at Kyo, hitting him in the face. Why don't you get it? Did you forget? Akito asks. He stands and tilts his head to the side, looking at Kyo with empty, enraged eyes. Why are you so deluded? Akito walks over toward Kyo awkwardly, almost staggering. Come on, remember that you're a monster. And because of that, your mom is dead. You're wrong, Kyo tries to argue. I'm not wrong, Akito says. It's not my fault, Kyo says. It was your fault. You killed your mom, Akito retorts. Akito takes Kyo's arm and Kyo tells him to stop. Even though she gave birth to a monster in human skin, she admirably protected and raised it. She ended up not being able to handle it and died. And her son won't even mourn her, Akito says. Kyo looks terrified. He remembers his father yelling at him in the past that his mother's death wasn't an accident, it was suicide. And Kyo remembers his mother walking out in front of what seems to be an oncoming train. As a monster, do you understand how much grief you caused her? His father screams. In the present, Akito says that Kyo should have died. What seems like invisible dark bindings start to fill the screen and engulf Kyo as Akito continues. Surely if you didn't exist, everyone would be happy. I killed her, he thinks. And we see a flash of an arm and a pool of blood. Please stop, Kyo shouts. The bindings disappear and Kyo falls to the floor. I've been thinking, Akito says. Is Tohru Honda the one who's been encouraging your delusions? She was unperturbed by seeing you in your true form, like an angel, or maybe Like a monster? Don't you think she's too perfect? Akito asks. Kyo remembers the incident. How can you say something like that? You don't know, he says to Akito. You weren't there. You don't know how scared she was. How can you say that? Her hands and voice trembled, he thinks. She was cold. Her face was pale. She was afraid. She didn't run away from me, he shouts at Akito, and Akito tells him to shut up over and over again. She held my hand. Kyo suddenly realizes, thinking back again, she knew that if she let go of my hand, I would never return, that I might never return to anyone. She didn't take up all my pain. She didn't fill in all the brokenness. But those weren't important. The most important thing was that she stayed with me, finding joy in the smallest things, being happy and smiling so cheerfully. Why? She should think of herself more. Why? Doesn't she think that she's getting the short end of the stick? She thinks that she's stupid or there's nothing good about her. Kyo remembers Momiji's story of the foolish traveler that we saw back in Season 1. It was a waste of time to think about loss or life getting harder. The traveler never thought about that stuff. Even if other people think that makes her an idiot, I don't. Yuki, Kyo, what do you think about when you close your eyes? Kyo imagines Tohru turning, smiling, and calling his name. He starts to cry. I love you. I love you so much, just as you are. Akito realizes that Kyo is crying and asks why. Is he embarrassed? Is he in love with her? What? A monster in love with another monster? He says. And Kyo looks up. Akito demands to know what's with the look in his eyes. Akito slaps him across the face. You're the deluded one, and that woman who acts so insolently even though she's an outsider? If you hate her that much, why did you allow her to live with us? Kyo wants to know. What were you thinking? Then realizes that it must be because Tohru's being used in some way. You're always quick to make me the villain, Akito says. So you love that woman? You're the real idiot. You even killed your own mother. Do you think you have the right to fall in love with someone? Kyo remembers a woman saying, I won't forgive you. And Akito asks him, who's the one who involved Tohru the most? It was me, Kyo says. Akito says that Tohru is at fault, and Kyo tries to deflect. He tells Akito that he doesn't love her. I'll never fall in love, he says, and then he thinks, I don't want anyone talking badly about her because of me. I see, I was jumping to conclusions. There's no way you love her. You'll never defeat Yuki anyway, so your confinement is certain. But it's okay, I'll come visit you in your confinement. I'll be by your side, Akito says, stroking Kyo's hair. You're mocking me, he says. I love you. I actually love you so much, Kyo, Akito says. Akito hugs him and tells him to be a good boy for the short time that he has left outside. After Kyo leaves, Yuki finds Akito washing his hands. He touched Kyo so much he feels sick. Akito says that Kyo says he doesn't love Tohru. Probably, Yuki says. Akito leaves the bathroom and turns off the sink. It can't possibly be true, he says once Akito is gone. Kyo walks back thinking about the things that Akito said. I'm always hurting others, he thinks. Mom should have killed me, so why am I alive? And back at the house, he calls for Tohru quietly. He wonders why he looks for her. He remembers a time in the past, walking with Shisho in the woods. He's barefoot and bedraggled. Shisho tells him not to step on a flower on the path. Nothing's going to change by protecting this one flower, he says in the memory. What existence is worth a sacrifice more than another's life? Even so, you're alive because you haven't given up hope yet, Shisho says. Because you know not every soul in this world will reject you. Kyo cries in the memory. I don't care. I don't have hope, he says. You do, Shisho says. Kyo stomps on the flower. Even if you don't have a glimmer of hope now, Shisho says, it will surely come again. However much you resist or trample it, however many times you're thrown into despair, hope will come again just as many times. Again and again, it will bloom. In the present, Kyo runs down to the shore. I'm sorry, Shisho. I pretended I didn't understand back then, but I did. I understand as many people in this world reject me, there are just as many people who will reach out their hand to me. And he remembers what seems like Kyoko, Tohru's mother, patting his head and asking if he's lonely as a child. Even though she'll never come back, he thinks. And he remembers them making a promise, then thinks, I couldn't keep it. Kyoko hands him a photo of Tohru in the past as a child, and he thinks, but she bloomed before me. I feel like I've only caused her sadness, but she continued to bloom, a small, tiny flower. Kyo finds Tohru at the beach working on another sandcastle. He sees her from behind, and he thinks, my precious, my precious. Tohru, he calls, and she greets him and notices his face. She asks what happened, and he says that he got in a fight with Akito. That he won't be going back anymore, and Tohru worries, but he says it's okay. I know you were happy for me, Kyo says, but I really don't care anymore. Tohru welcomes him back with a warm smile. I'm back, he says, smiling. I love you. I don't want to take anything else from you. I don't want to trample you ever again. At some point, I hope that we could always be together somewhere far away, he thinks. And he remembers the same woman in a pool of blood saying, I won't forgive you. As they walk back to the house, Kyo thinks, I won't hope that I could make you my own. At least be by my side with the time that I have left. Tohru turns and asks what he'd like for dinner, and she trips, and he catches her head. Sheesh, what am I going to do with you, he says, and takes her hand. I want to be with you until we're separated, until the last moment, he thinks. And then we cut to credits. Aw. Dun dun dun. I guess there were some dun dun duns. There's like a couple of reveals because there's like this bet with Akito. It's revealed that Kyo had a bet with Akito about being able to beat Yuki, which explains a lot. Because I feel like earlier in the series, if you are watching the series for the first time, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, why does he like have such a, a hatred that I guess it's like you could interpret it as being the cat and the rat fighting, just as cats and rats do, question mark. But it's beyond that. It's that he made this deal with Akito that maybe he wouldn't have to be confined, and that he could be almost like a part of the Zodiac. So there's a extra reason for him to want to beat Yuki. Although it was also kind of revealed like it seems like that'll never be, since he had a direct hit, he had a direct ability to punch Yuki straight in the face and like wasn't able to, I guess, and wasn't expecting him to do nothing.
That's always been a scene I really like, so I'm glad they kept it in the anime.
I agree. I felt like Yuki's sass was accurate.
He's like about to punch Yuki, and then Yuki doesn't move, and Kyo stops dead, and they just kind of look at each other, and then Kyo punches the wall instead. Like, yeah, there's a lot going on in that that's not said.
Definitely. Even like the way that he punches the wall in the anime is just so like delicate. Like it's like I have to do something. Like I can't like not follow through on this action. But
yeah, it was more like an irritated thump than like an actual like.
He could have broken the wall. We've seen him break shit before.
Yeah, because like I don't know if we had this one yet in the anime, but like when he like punches through the window and.
Oh, in the school.
Yeah, I don't think that's come up yet, but it's like we've seen him like cause pretty severe property damage.
He broke through Shigure's roof. Let's never forget. Yeah, so I definitely think he could have done it. But I feel like it shows something about their characters and the way that they're changing. Like neither of them just fought. It's not like Yuki just accepted that it was going to happen, and then Kyo didn't just hit him in the face. Like he was able to, I guess, control his rage, even though we just learned about how much he, he has
how much
he's
got riding on the concept of beating Yuki.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of scenes that are like where I felt like they really added some things that weren't taken out directly out of the manga. So like there's all the weird like what looks like rope or whatever that's like dark and purpley. It has that like purpley cloud miasma situation happening.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I guess
just that whole interaction with Akito was just like super creepy. Like
it was creepy.
Taking him to 11.
Yes. I think it is the creepiest. The time with Hattori in the first season where Akito's like surrounded by all the mirrors and stuff. I think it's kind of had a similar like body language, but like there's a couple of things that really like stood out to me. So the first one is in Kyo's memory where it's like kind of green tinted, and there's this weird like fisheye effect on Akito's expression.
Yeah.
When I think they're arguing about the bet, I guess. Oh, it's a scene after the bet, according to the note that I have here. But yeah, in Kyo's memory. And then there's the creepy, like, the way that Akito, like, stagger walks over to Kyo in the present was so weird.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen Akito be creepy before, but not, like, exactly in that way. Like, not, like, deranged.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is, like, more, like, it looks, like, unhinged rather than, like, just trying to be, like, intimidating deliberately. Like,
yeah, it seems like beyond Akito's like self-control, as opposed to purposefully being like scary and manipulative.
Yeah,
like we saw that too, the expected amount of manipulativeness. I think, but yeah, it seems to be a different interaction with Akito. When Akito is like who's deluded and threatening him over and over again and reminding him about his whatever theoretical responsibility for his mother's death. And then we have this like I guess what's meant to be what I just described a little bit ago, which is those like the bindings. It seems like a darkness that sort of surrounded Kyo. So I mean, obviously there's a lot of things it could be.
Yeah, like a representation of him being like subdued again, because they come out while he's being like talked down into like his lowest point, and then like when he's like, no, I don't love her and stuff, they like go away.
Goes away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It also like wraps around his like arms when Akito's holding his hands, or like holding his wrist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's like a representation of Akito's power or something.
Yeah.
Like after that, where he's like kneeling on the floor and stuff, is so heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
and creepy too, but in a different way. And Akito's like stroking his hair and stuff, and is like, "It's okay, I'll come visit you. I love you, really." It's like, and then we see the scene after where Akito's got the like wide, sort of deranged eyes, washing his hands in the bathroom, like so disgusted by Kyo.
Yeah.
So disingenuous.
And doesn't even turn off the water like a jerk.
What a asshole. Yuki had to come turn
Yuki's
off the water.
there.
The whole place is flooded. They're like, oops.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the creepy scenes in this. They were very creepy. I feel like they actually made these scenes more creepy than in the manga, which was nice, question mark?
Yeah, they definitely had some fun with the medium of animation. So
give Akito a creepy walk.
Yeah, these is like past like handful of episodes have been really good at the like the physicality of Akito as a person, like to kind of like
head tilting.
Yeah, like the use of body language to communicate what kind of person Akito is has been really good.
Yeah, this is the point in the series where we learn the most about Akito too. So it's I feel like we're getting a picture, and the picture's not good. The picture is in fact very scary.
Yeah, I'm sad the dub is behind right now because I've enjoyed the like little bit of Akito voice acting we've gotten in the dub, and I'd like to see how they handle these creepy Akito scenes.
True. I was also like, I want to hear how Jerry Jewell confesses his love feelings in his head.
Barry the Chopper.
Yes, I'd like to hear how Barry the Chopper confesses his love feelings in his head. Join us soon for our Fullmetal Alchemist podcast, although it wouldn't be about the anime, but that's okay.
Yeah. I think he did reprise his role in the second anime. That's
nice,
more accurate to the manga. So
how could they have messed up Barry the Chopper? I mean,
they did a lot of weird stuff with Barry the Chopper. Now I'm thinking about it in the first anime, but yeah, it was weird. I don't like the first anime.
No. I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts because I don't remember it very well and I haven't read the manga, but I mean, Brotherhood's better. Everybody knows that. Just like Fruits Basket 2019 is better than Fruit 2001. There, I said it. There. I mean, although if people are listening this far, then they're obviously watching it, so they obviously care. Cause probably
it's like these are objective facts, not our opinions. We won't take any criticism.
I refuse to take criticism about this opinion. I can't think of one. I can't remember if I don't know if I've ever criticized anything about the anime except for Makoto, right? No, yeah. The person who played Renge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, it was her, wasn't it? Am I crazy? It wasn't
No,
Kimi. No, Kimi's not here yet.
She was someone recent. I don't think it was Mato. Maybe it was.
Oh, no. Was it Mine? It was Mine. That's who it was.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Yes, that was my only criticism. It was about Mine. Mine's English voice acting. But
it still wasn't bad. It was just...
it was just, like, clearly not her forte.
Yeah.
I feel like Mine's dual nature was hard to land. But anyway, this episode, more beach stuff happened. I'm trying to think of it. I mean, all this was basically about Kyo.
Yeah. I think it kind of did the thing where it did with Momiji's mother and took like the like already horrific implications and made them worse with Kyo's mom's suicide.
Yes, because I feel like it's very clear. Like in the manga for a long time, it was obfuscated exactly how she died and if it was like a suicide or not. Well, I mean, it's like we saw his father, like these scenes where it says his father saying that it was a suicide and stuff. But I think, I mean, it's pretty obvious that she steps in front of a train. So it seems like we can say that with confidence.
Yeah, Yeah, it's like I looked back at this chapter and you do see like a little picture of a train platform when he's having like all his like traumatic flashback things.
It's not the same though.
But yeah, this one makes it really clear like what happened, and also implies that Kyo was there when it happened, which I don't think was necessarily implied in the manga.
Yeah, no, it could have just been vague, like, oh, like he knew that she killed herself by jumping in front of a train, and therefore those things show up in his memory. But then, like, it's not revealed until much later. I don't think we've even gotten there in the manga yet. So I guess manga spoilers? Question mark. But like,
I don't think it's even. I don't think it's ever even confirmed in the manga, like if he saw it happen or not.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
like
can't say that I know that for certain. Yeah.
But just the image of baby Kyo watching his mom just walk in front of a train is pretty horrifying. So,
yes.
Yeah.
He holds out his hands too, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
And then you have like people being assholes to him immediately after.
Yeah. And like we've seen how young Kyo was when it happens. I mean, he was
so teeny tiny,
5 or 6. I mean, he was tiny.
Maybe even like 4.
This happened. Yeah, maybe even younger. But like,
I know, it's horrifying. And then you have everyone. Akito uses that against him. I feel like what we really saw on display, we've seen it a couple of times, I think, in the series so far. But really, I feel like especially with Yuki and now with Kyo, it's like we see Akito's sort of manipulative, prowess on display.
Yeah, like Akito's real good at finding that weak point and like just jabbing the knife in and twisting it. Like,
yes.
Like we even saw that just a little bit with like the short conversation with Haru we saw like an episode or 2 ago.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, you're so hilarious," and he was like, "Don't make fun of me."
Like, this is why everyone thinks the ox is so dumb and funny. Like,
yeah. But Kyo was also like, I mean, you can tell by Kyo's reaction how much it bothers him too. Like,
yeah,
he's just like completely like torn down and just panicked and every kind of negative emotion possible, essentially. Like basically at the end of that is begging Akito to stop, which is sad. So sad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed also the end where he comes back to find Tohru and he's like searching for her, and we also saw the memory. I guess it's important to bring up the memory of Shisho telling him that, you know, even when people reject him, there'll be people who don't, and that he'll, you know, hope will, even for every bad thing that happens, hope will return. The memory is out of context. I can't remember if we've seen it. It's something that comes up a lot in the manga, which is why I'm not sure if we've seen it yet before in the anime. I forget.
I feel like we've seen part of it, like
probably the standing.
Like we've seen like Shisho with the like. Yeah, I think we've even. I don't even know if we've seen that, but we've seen like Shisho with the like broken down looking Kyo in the.
Yeah. That's right.
In the foresty location before, yeah.
When he was like this time, you know, he couldn't even stand and other stuff like that. I feel like we've seen him, perhaps multiple times even. Someone in the audience is screaming. I know. It's fine. Yeah.
It's really hard to keep it straight when we're reading the manga and watching the anime at the same time in different parts of the story. So you'll have to forgive us.
We talked about this a year ago. I don't know anymore. Okay, I don't know. But also the anime follows the manga series so closely that I feel like, unless it was notably different, then hopefully it's. I feel like we've seen at least parts of this memory before. I think you're right. It wasn't exactly the scene, but I think we've seen parts of this time at different points in the series before. So a little bit more about this time. It's not clear, you know, why.
Yeah. And we got the, I guess the other big reveal is that apparently Baby Kyo knew Kyoko.
Yes. I couldn't tell also if that's something that had happened before yet. I was confused. So I was like, should I say this? It looks like Kyoko or it is her? I don't know, but it's definitely her.
Yeah, like I think the first time you see it, you could be like, is that supposed to be Kyoko? But by the end, when you have like her showing the picture of Tohru and stuff, like it's pretty obviously Kyoko. So
yes.
Yeah, I can't remember if that's been alluded to before or not, but like this is now the like clear picture that
I'm also
alluded to in a recognizable way. Like
yes. I also don't know if I don't remember if this specifically has been alluded to before. I think it might have been because there's other things.
I think it might have been in like a vague way where like we would have had to been like a woman like in the past, but
she hands him a picture of Tohru, so
yeah,
it's obviously her. Or some
and we
rando
see,
with a photo of Tohru with red hair. The one other of the
Who knows
three
where Tohru
people.
lives, because we see baby Kyo like peeking in the window.
That's
so.
right, he creeped in her window and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no big deal.
He's a kid, so he gets a pass, but it
Yeah.
would be creepy in an adult.
Yeah, he's a kid and they're the same age, I guess, so it's okay. Question mark? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he gets a pass. He's also a weird tiny child, and he didn't have any ill intentions.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to people yet. Like so many Somas.
Yeah, like all of them.
Yes.
So many somas. This is the return of the foolish traveler. I was like, I wonder if people who, like, if you've never watched the series before, I wonder if people were like, what the hell was that? Like, it was so long ago. I don't even remember when that episode was. It must have been an early one, so it must have been sometime last summer or...
Yeah.
But yeah, Momiji's story of the foolish traveler makes a reappearance in Kyo's thoughts. Kyo's in love. So not only is Yuki having the feels for Tohru, so is Kyo.
Two big confession scenes.
Yes. Yeah, we made it, guys. We made it. We finally got to the, like, Shigeru's prediction came true, where he was like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens this summer with all of you and your teen romance. And they were like, what the hell? Yeah. Guess what? He was right.
All sorts of summery emotions.
Yeah. Pain, sadness, triggering of past pain and grievances.
So I feel every summer. How about you?
You stare out into the night, the cicadas chirp, and you just sip a glass of wine, eyes wide and sad. What? Is that not how you spend every summer night? I don't know. I don't know what you all are
spending
doing.
this summer anyway.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're not outside. You just look from outside your window and you put your hand on the glass and look longingly into the night.
Sometimes I go out on my balcony.
Oh.
It's almost like being outside.
We went for a walk.
Sometimes I even go to the dumpster with my trash.
Once in a while I go to the grocery store.
I squint up at the sky like, what's that round bright thing?
Sometimes if we're driving in the car somewhere now, I'm like, why does everything feel so far away? Because it's like not within like 10 to 15 feet inside of my house. Do we have more to say about Furuba? I don't think so. We've diverted 3 times, I think, to other topics. But it was a good episode, and I enjoyed it. And it'll be exciting when the dub catches up. I haven't watched any of the other dub episodes yet, like the new ones that have come out. I think they're on like episode 5. So
yeah.
Or at least, actually, I don't know. They released episode 4. I don't know how long they're going in between producing them. It might take longer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at it, so.
They were just like, we released episode 4, and then they probably haven't said anything since then. But.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that was like we're back at it, here's the next episode, and everything's going like normal, or if it was like I think
it was like, we're back at it, but it might take a long time.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I haven't really looked at it, so.
Yeah, I mean, we know about all the woes of recording remotely. I'm sure it's like 10 times worse when you're trying to record high quality audio.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, next episode is called... Actually, we should probably talk about spoilers briefly. Yeah. Next episode is called Who Are You? So... Who are you? Who?
I really want to know.
So, we didn't make any good, there wasn't really a good opportunity to make any Lord of the Rings jokes this episode.
Oh, yeah.
So. I guess we did that last time.
I think they were kind of implied by the way you were unable to say the words "my precious" in a normal tone of voice.
Precious. I don't think I'll ever be able to say those words in a normal tone of voice for the rest of my life. Nor will anyone else who's seen that movie. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so next time we'll talk about Who Are You, if you're not sticking around for spoilers. So thank you all for listening. Again, hope everyone is safe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi, welcome back. Spoiler time. Well, I mean, so there's like the spoiler, the Kyoko, that Kyo was there at Kyoko's death, spoiler, and it's sort of misconstrued intentionally with his mother's death too.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, it's like it feels like they kind of emphasized it more, but at the same time, they like mixed it up with the mother stuff so
Yeah.
much that it kind of like obscures it. Like if you
Yes.
know what it is, it's really obvious
Yes.
in this episode. But I think they do a good job of like mixing it up with the guilt over his mother.
It's ambiguous. I think it was kind of ambiguous at this point in the manga too, where you're like, well, there was a person, looks like a person in the pool of blood. It could be this or
it's like I feel like
that.
I feel like in the manga, like the whole situation was still like way more ambiguous at this point.
Yeah.
Like even like the flashbacks of like the stuff was more like vaguer images.
It was like an arm, not like her full face being like, "I won't forgive you." But I can't remember if that.
So I think like so I feel like the anime kind of like it made the imagery more obvious of like what it is.
Yes.
But also like kind of like mixed up like the context a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you. That's what it seems like. More spoilers? Question mark.
Well, the next episode looks like it's going to be the Akito God reveal.
It's not even a mid-series finale. It's episode 10. What are they planning?
Yeah, I wonder what the
who knows what the second half of this is going to
be now. Yeah, we'll have to see like where they go after the beach.
They better fucking have a Tori and Mayuko. I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
I do feel like they will, just because like they've like
she's so prominent.
Yeah, they've made her prominent enough, like, and like that's pretty much her only like significant like thing in the story. So like they could have easily like replaced her with a generic teacher or just had her as a background character without much focus if they didn't want to. So
well, they had her walk by in the episode with Tori, so I think they're gonna make her a mainstay. But
yeah, and like they've shown her like relationship to Kana and stuff. So I assume they're gonna go there.
Ayame.
So
yeah, they're gonna come back and have parent-teacher conferences. Think of all the student council things that are gonna come.
Yeah, that's when the student council starts in earnest.
We get to have
after the beach.
Kimi's basket. Another Kimi. Oh, Kimi's good. And now
beginning of the Kimi spin-off soon.
Another Kimi. Fruits basket, another Kimi. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. In all the things that we're reading right now in the manga, they're not there at all. It's just like, it's so exciting. That'll be fun.
Yeah, most of their drama's over, so
yeah.
In the manga.
Yeah. There's a little bit after, but it's like Yukimachi stuff. It's not really drama.
It's mostly just them like kind of being around, being friends.
We get to see Kakeru go from asshole to slightly less of an asshole.
Yeah, he visits Tohru in the hospital.
Yeah, I saw that. And it's cute.
You have the funny scene of him just hanging out with the Mabudachi trio in the waiting room.
I like the idea that Toru's hospital visit is just parade of random people and all the nurses are like, look at another beautiful man is here.
Yeah.
And his hair is so silver. Yeah, who is this girl?
You're a harem of beautiful people.
None of them seem to be related to her in any way. I like how Yuki's like, please don't go to the hospital. I don't want her family thinking that you're friends with me or something like that. Anyway, yeah, completely unrelated spoilers. Is there anything else from this? Yep. I don't know. There was mostly Kyo's mom stuff, and then it was like the scene, his dad being an asshole, etc.
Yeah.
And then of course, there's more of the. We just read in our episode that'll be coming out on Wednesday that there's the scene with Shisho when he's in the woods. That's not the end of that scene.
Yeah, just all kinds of Kyoko stuff.
Yeah.
And
so much Kyoko drama. So much Kyo's mom drama. This is what it was all about Kyo, so it's all about his trauma. I mean, it makes sense.
It's basically just like there's a bunch of like mixed up foreshadowing in that scene that's gonna, get unmixed up down the road. So
there wasn't any Kyo hat foreshadowing, I don't think, in this though. No, I don't think so. I mean, it just like kind of had him being around.
Yeah, I don't
Kyoko,
think we
but there wasn't
saw it in there. Yeah,
that memory wasn't tied in there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like the promise was during the hat stuff, but
yeah. So many promises and bets going on in this series.
Yeah,
I think that's it because it's all Kyo. Well, I mean, I guess there was like the little part at the beginning with like Yuki and Shigure, and Shigure still seeming to be scheming, and Yuki not having any of it. So
yeah, Yuki's officially done with this shit at this point.
Go Yuki.
Yeah. It's like this marks the point of him being officially done with capital O, capital E.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Oh, and then of course Tohru thinks. Well, I mean, we just talked about how the god reveal is coming up, but Tohru still thinks that Akito is the rooster.
Yep.
So
She doesn't know Kureno exists yet.
no. Well, she knows that Ua met someone like her, named Kureno. Yeah. No. Ua didn't tell her.
I don't even think she has a name.
Yeah, that doesn't come till after Tohru knows, because Tohru knows about Kureno Soma before he knows that Ua met Kureno. I think. Before she knows that Ua met Kureno. So.
What clickety clack? Here, go away. Scrambling all over the place. Just go walk on the floor for a bit.
Get some floor time enrichment.
Yeah. Exercise your little bird feet.
Next time we'll talk in depth about, or whatever, in the same depth we always talk about the anime episodes, which is very little. About the god reveal. I'm sure they'll add some stuff. That'll be a good time. Maybe he'll be back. We'll get to see his shining moment. Okay, until next time. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you either Wednesday for manga or next Monday for more anime stuff.
Bye-bye.
Bye.